Las Vegas, Fremont Street, the Strip, what's better? Today we will be answering that question.
For my 21st birthday, we decided to go to Las Vegas.
We're in Vegas because Joey turned 21 and we brought his birthday cake.
Bruh.
And while planning the trip, we wondered, should we stay at Fremont Street or the Strip? So we decided to do both. We stayed in Vegas a total of 4 nights with 2 nights at each location. At Fremont, we decided to stay at the Golden Nugget, and on the Strip, we decided to stay at the Flamingo Hotel. The Golden Nugget came out to $254.43 for 2 nights, while the Flamingo came out to $224.81 for 2 nights. So let's compare what we got for these prices. At Golden Nugget, you have great access to Fremont Street because like all the other hotels on Fremont Street, you can just walk right out onto it. And guests at Golden Nugget also get free parking in their parking garage, so that's a plus. Not all the hotels in Vegas give you free parking. Golden Nugget also has a pretty nice pool with a slide that's open on the weekends that runs through a 200,000 gallon water tank with sharks in it, so that's pretty crazy. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that though because we were there during the weekdays, but that's something you could experience on the weekend. And we've actually stayed at the Golden Nugget before, so that's why we chose it again. Both times we stayed there, we've chosen the Carson Tower with the King room because that's one of the cheaper options. Each day we've had a super easy time getting to our room and getting around the hotel. The navigation there is really good.
The Flamingo attracted our attention for 2 reasons. I really like flamingos and we really like saving money, especially in a pricey city like Las Vegas. We were pleasantly surprised how nice our room was when we got to it. It had everything the Golden Nugget had and more. The more mainly being a fridge. But another was in our bathroom. There was a TV on the mirror. The Flamingo also had a pretty cool pool area, actual flamingos, and really cool gift shops.
The only bummer to our stay in the Golden Nugget was that our room did not come with a fridge, so we couldn't save any leftovers or any drinks, and that's standard for any Carson Tower room. We could have upgraded for $30 a night to one of the other towers, but we decided not to because that would have been an extra $60 for our stay there.
Getting to the Flamingo was a bit hectic because of all the traffic in the area. On top of that, their parking garage navigation was not the best. Also, parking was $20 a day. Our room was a little hard to find. It was also in the middle of a super long hallway, so it wasn't the greatest walk back. So let's put them side by side.
Looking at this, we'll give you our honest thoughts about what we thought about each hotel. We think that Flamingo's actual room that we stayed in was nicer, but the Golden Nugget Hotel was a better hotel because it was easier to navigate, as I said, and we're not super into gambling, so it is cool to see a big casino area like Flamingo, but Golden Nuggets was fine for us. It was still the same thing. Now that brings us to the point, which is there's 2 completely different areas, and that's what we're gonna tell you about next. The Strip versus Fremont, not just the hotels, but the actual places.
As mentioned earlier, the Golden Nugget gives you great access to the Fremont Street. And while the Flamingo does give you great access to the Strip, the 2 areas are quite different, so let's take a look at why.
As the name implies, this area is just a street, but it's not just any street. It also has this really cool canopy that displays videos and images that you can see throughout the day and night, and it's timed with the different performers on the street. The Fremont experience is 5 blocks long and has tons of things to see and do. There's places to eat, multiple stages to watch free live music, places to drink, gift shops, random street performers that you can see along the street, and of course, multiple hotels that you can gamble at.
The Strip, on the other hand, is a lot bigger. And while you can technically walk it, it's nowhere near as easy. There tends to be a lot of construction, and the area is just so much bigger that you will wear yourself out very easily. The Strip also has a lot of cool shops like the M&M store, places to drink, places to eat, a lot of hotels with cool things to see, and of course, lots of gambling. So what's better? It really comes down to what you like doing and your budget.
From what we've seen, Fremont definitely seems better suited for an older crowd. There's way less walking, not as many clubs, and pretty much all the live acts that we saw were playing covers of the hits of the 80s and the 90s. We weren't even born yet.
Of course, both these places can be really pricey if you let them.
Can you yell the price on what that was?
$21.99. I got a Corona for $13.
But Fremont Street seems to be less expensive. Because of less extravagant things, it seems like the prices aren't as high. In our case, we chose a really cheap hotel on the Strip, but many of the hotels there are pretty pricey.
So let's see what some of the prices are for hotels on the Strip. Right, so the month of June, Mandalay Bay will cost you an average of $200 a night, except for some reason on Wednesday, June 12th, where it'll only be $69. You can expect to spend somewhere between $250 and $400 for the month of July. August has a wild range range, with some of the days being $629 and some of them being $59. And mind you, this is usually meaning the cheapest room at the resort, just the normal standard room. But let's say you want to stay somewhere else. We can check Caesar's Palace real quick. At the end of June, it'll be $600 a night. Updated it to July 10th to July 12th. It'd be $1,099 a night. August 13th to August 14th, you can spend $250. It's one of the cheaper nights. Not very affordable there either, and that's the standard room, the smallest room that you can get. Of course, there's places like Circus, the Luxor, and Excalibur that have pretty cheap rates, but there's a reason for that. Everybody says Circus just smells like cigarettes and it's not that great. The Luxor has a weird shape to it and it's kind of far off from the main strip. It has that triangle, so your room's gonna be cut in half a bit. And then the Excalibur, I've always thought it just looks kind of memey on the outside with the whole castle look to it, but you could stay there. That one's pretty cheap. I looked it up and most places on Fremont Street are a lot cheaper even with the resort fee. Golden Nugget for us was about $80 a night plus a $40 resort fee, so that was $120. The D, I looked that up, that was like $40, so probably about $80 with resort fees. And then Four Queen is about $100 a night. But the cool thing about them is that they don't have a resort fee, so you're just paying $100 for the stay and that's that. You don't have to worry about any added fee. And like we said, Golden Nugget, we got free parking. A lot of these places on the strip, I don't think they give you free parking, so that's gonna be an extra maybe 20 to 30 bucks a night that you're staying there. The strip definitely has a younger feel to it, but be prepared to walk an insane amount or spend some money on transportation because it takes quite a bit to get from one end to the other. Yesterday, we thought we could do a lot of walking, just get to every place we wanted to go on foot, but it really took a lot out of us. We came back to the hotel around 2 in the morning and we were just ready to knock out. We were super tired. Every day we think we're gonna be able to gamble at night, but by the time we get back and take a little break, we're just so out of it. As the name suggests, it's just a strip of land with tons of hotels and things to do on it. It's not one combined experience like Fremont Street. Rather, it's just a long area with tons of things that aren't necessarily linked together. Unlike Fremont, on the strip, you kind of have to be looking for entertainment. Of course, there's still some things that you can see just walking along it. But it's not like Fremont where things are right in front of your face as soon as you walk out of your hotel. What you want to do might be seeing a show in a hotel right next to you. Maybe it's a restaurant that you want to go to that's a few blocks down, or in our case, getting $2 beers at Slots of Fun right next to Circus, which was not that close to Flamingo at all. We also might make use of the monorail today because we're definitely going to try to gamble at Slots of Fun.
And that is what we ended up doing. We bought our tickets, headed northbound, and this was the original plan.
We're gonna stop at Westgate so we can get off and then walk to Circus because that's where Slots of Fun is.
Well, that was the plan until the doors of the cab that we chose opened up and we stumbled across this guy.
Where'd you say I was?
So after about 15 minutes of riding with that guy, we decided to change our plan.
All right, we decided to get off at Sahara because Apple Maps claims it's a bit faster. And there was a weird guy on the monorail with us, so he got off at Westgate, so we decided to get off at Sahara.
Jeez, that thing is so loud. There's Circus. It's lots of fun. It's lots of fun.
We got our $2 drinks. Well, Lauren's first one wasn't $2, but mine was. And we also got $2 hot dogs and decided that we were gonna make all of our money back that we spent this trip by gambling.
Here's what our first $5 turned into. It could have been 2 beers.
Wow.
That was actually our first time gambling, and we learned a few things. 1, don't gamble on old slot machines because it's pretty hard to win on those. And 2, your money goes a lot further at the bar at Slots of Fun.
To us, the Strip seems like the better option if you're looking for more extravagant things to do and see. It's definitely the area that people envision when they're thinking of the Vegas experience. And it's definitely the better option if you're thinking of staying in Vegas for a while. Fremont's quite a bit smaller, so it's way easier to see everything in a day. As mentioned earlier, we stayed on Fremont 2 nights, and we probably walked the Fremont experience at least 10 times while we were there those 2 days. It was crazy. You could just do it back and forth, which we did because we didn't have anything else to do. So in summary, Fremont's definitely the better area if you're not looking for things to be too extravagant and you just want a more chill experience with nothing crazy going on. There's still a fair share of weird and crazy stuff to see there though, definitely, like the street performers. And as the night goes on, you'll see the street performers get weirder and weirder for sure.
There was a guy there with a wig on that had a dress on, and you could pay him and he'd take pictures with you. And this guy gave him some money. I think he had like a wife too. And he started like humping him. Do you remember that? Yeah. Like the performer wasn't humping him, the guy that paid him was behind him going like that. And I was like,
And of course, since we just said that about Fremont, that means that the Strip does have the cooler things to do, but it's just so much more walking and so much bigger. There's Gordon Ramsay's restaurant there. There's Caesar's Palace right next to that. There's tons of older hotels that have been there forever and newer ones. And we're actually gonna go back to Vegas later this year, and we're gonna go back to the Strip because we want the more Vegas-y experience, and we found out about Slots of Fun, which is super cheap beer. $2 beer, that's pretty crazy for Vegas and anywhere.
Don't go there though.
Yeah, keep it $2, don't go there. We've seen Fremont Street quite a bit now, 2 different times, and like I mentioned earlier, you can just walk it pretty easily, so we've seen all there is to pretty much offer there. We wanna go back and see the different crazy things at the Strip, maybe go see a performance at one of the hotels.
Maybe we can go on that ride on top of the hotel that goes off.
Oh yeah, that's there too. I don't know about that though. I would say the Strip also has the more novelty things, like Lauren mentioned, the M&M shop. They have a Hershey's Reese's place. That's why we're gonna go back. We're gonna get some more footage there to see what it's like staying there, completely just there.
We're staying at the end of July. It's probably gonna be really hot, so we'll see how the pool area is, the Strip, like how many people are out.
And we are staying at the Flamingo again, just because it's one of the cheaper ones, and we're actually gonna be doing a road trip, so we kind of needed to cheap out on the hotel, and that's about as cheap as you can get on the Strip in Vegas. I will say one final thing, I forgot to mention this earlier, but we did have a con with the Flamingo that was only specific to our experience. I didn't factor this in on our price, but we actually paid for a late checkout on our last day there because we were a little bit hungover since it was my birthday. And they actually charged us twice, and luckily we caught it on the itemized bill. We mentioned it to them and they just basically said, oh, thanks for letting us know, we'll take care of that. They didn't offer us anything, and we weren't totally expecting them to offer something, but we thought there was a good chance, especially since they would have just charged us an extra 30 bucks had we not mentioned that. But it wasn't enough to impact us on our visit. Like, we still are going there again, but it was just kind of a minor annoyance.
It just seemed like they didn't really care in the email too, because I emailed them and they called me Mr. by my last name. Like, you can see my profile picture.
And your first name.
I know.
That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it was entertaining. Hopefully it was informational. And if you did enjoy it, please give us a like, share the video, whether you're staying in Vegas or you know somebody that's staying in Vegas, or you just like seeing stuff about Vegas.
Since we are going back, give us some recommendations down below of where to go, what to check out. Maybe a Mega Mart we'll check out. So anything that's cool, maybe secretive.
Thanks again for watching, and please consider subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate the growth and the support we've been getting. So we'll see you later. Bye.